Heyo, you're tuning into Toasted Reddit, where I cook your time with some Reddit stories. Right now we've got Pettyrevenge, where OP, in my opinion, actually decided to become worse than their father in their advent of their revenge. Our first story comes from Guilty But Honest. My dad, who is 57, started dating Becky, who is 25, 4 months ago. For reference, I'm a 26-year-old, and my dad and mom, to note she is 54, divorced when I was 24, 2 years ago. And this is the first relationship, to my knowledge, since mom and dad separated. My dad has become the proverbial rich man dating young bimbo upgrade tush bag, and it has made my mom feel like yesterday's trash. Him and Becky have such an obvious transactional relationship that has been making me question how he sees women. Like, what? Was he checking out my friends growing up? Is that something I have to worry about now? Fridge you! I've tried expressing to him that their relationship makes me uncomfortable for every obvious fridging reason, but he won't listen, and I'm tired of his blatant disrespect and dismal of my feelings. So, if he sees no issue with it, then I guess neither do I. This weekend was Becky's birthday, and my dad threw a massive garden party for it, with her bimbo friends plus his friends and business partners. All, I'm sure, so he could try and get his creepy buddy set up with her gold-digging friends. But you know what? Since that was the vibe, why wouldn't I join in on the fun? So, what did I do? I found myself an older man and decided to bring him as my plus one. How old is he? He's 62, so let's just call him Old Joe. Only fitting if his girlfriend is younger than me, that my new boyfriend is older than him. So, the party starts, I'm on my best behavior with him and all of his friends, acting like I support it all when I leave to get my new guy because he just arrived. It was honestly art coming back to him and all of his friends sitting together at the main table, the birthday girl basically hanging all over him, to then introduce them to my old A boyfriend. Wish I took a photo of their faces. What's wrong, Dad? You don't look so good. Becky, you should get his heart medication. This party might be too taxing on him. And then I sat on old Joe's lap. I made sure to be as shameless as his new girlfriend, and yes, it felt disgusting doing it, but it was fridging worth it to see my dad basically throw Becky off of him, which ruined her special day. I cannot express how satisfying it was to watch him fume from across the table. But what was he gonna say? And the best part? One of his partners knew old Joe. They were golf buddies. And before he could say anything to me, I made my exit with old Joe because he was taking me on a private boat ride and we didn't want to miss our port departure. And now he's calling me non-stop and I just keep sending him to voicemail. Though I did text him to ask about what ED medication he takes so I can recommend the brand to old Joe. At this point, I didn't care how it affects our relationship because I am disgusted with him and his choices. I am satisfied with the payback and I hope he likes the taste of his own medicine. And then there were some edits down below. To anyone asking about old Joe and claiming that I fridged myself over in the process, 1. I never slept with him. I ditched him after we left the party. 2. He was in on the whole thing, but only because he thought it was kink related and that he would be getting action afterwards, which was never the case. Yes, I did things I'm not proud of. I took advantage of the guy. But he thought he was going to be taking advantage of me, thinking I was an easy target because I had daddy issues. So I don't feel bad about that or for him. I only slightly felt bad for myself because I sat on his lap. 3. I don't know why any of you are concerned over this guy. He was a creep. He willingly came to a party where he presumably knew no one there because he thought me angering my dad was part of the kink. He was weird, and in my opinion, I fridged over 2 gross old men that day, so I pat myself on the back. And 4. Sorry that I don't like the idea of my dad treating another human being as an actual object and trying to throw that back in my face by making myself into that objectified person. And I have that opinion of their relationship because I'm watching it unfold in real time. If you saw them together, you would understand where I'm coming from. He is handsy with her in public places and in front of me. And yes, she has a choice in this, but to play in that dynamic is also weird. And I feel bad that she's become so complacent in her own exploitation That is sad. But if he wants to be with someone younger in a transactional relationship, clearly I can't stop him. But is it really so much to ask at his grown fridging age to have some fridging respect for your daughter and to keep that crap out of my face and out of my life? I don't think so, but I guess that's just me. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be real, guys. I made some comments, but I took some comments down that I wanted to read out, but I think I might just take the pop stand here because I'm gonna go on for a moment. But let me collect my thoughts first. Okay. OP, okay, let me level the playing field, or let me set some bounds here. Sorry, I hit my table. Let me set some bounds here real quick. So, I personally disagree with what your father is doing. You know, my opinion is you should keep it to the whole entire half your age and +7, and that is your dating range. But at the same time, he is an adult. Becky, quote unquote, is also an adult. They made an adult decision. And to be completely honest, they're acting like a couple. He is handsy with her in public places. Have you never seen a couple have you never seen a couple? They're typically handsy. What do you mean handsy? Like he's putting his hand down her pants? Like, sure, that's weird, but at the same time, PDA is not new. That is kind of old at this rate, almost like your dad. But they're adults making adult decisions. And now let me get to the meat and potatoes of what I wanted to say here. Okay, so OP, to be completely honest, I'm disappointed with you. Like, let me level the playing field and be on your end. You saw your dad jump into the pig pen, and then you, for some reason, decided to not only also jump in that pig pen, but then you also decided to bring a snorkel and go into the pig pen, like the murky waters that it is. First of all, you put into quotes that that old Joe thought it was a kink game. First of all, let me use your wordage. On point number 2, you said I took advantage of the guy. How did you take advantage of him, and yet he thought that it was a kink game? There is something weird going on here with the wordplay. I might be the only one noticing it, but there is something weird going on here. Something, like, if you were to be completely honest and talking to old Joe and be like, hey, I'm angered at my dad and I want to anger him back because I want revenge, 9 times out of 10, he would probably be like, well, you're weird, I'm not joining in on this. So, clearly, you said something that made him think that it was a kink game. And you use your own verbiage saying that you took advantage of the guy. So something tells me that he thought it was a kink game because you made it seem like a kink game. And then you led him on. You didn't do any of that. You just had him come out for the day, and that is it. And then you fridged over old Joe. And then the other thing is, you acted younger than Becky. Your dad made an adult decision. Becky made an adult decision. Is their relationship transactional? Yeah, probably, but adults are allowed to have a transactional relationship. There's a whole entire term, sugar mommy and sugar daddy, for a reason. If it wasn't a reason, then those 2 words wouldn't exist. They're being adults, making adult decisions. You decided to be an adult and make an adult decision, but you then left it hanging by not actually following through with what I'm assuming you told old Joe. So you decided to fridge over old Joe, and you also decided to fridge over your dad for something that quite literally has nothing to do with you. So let me level the playing field. It has absolutely nothing to do with you, OP. Like, sure, you're his daughter, but just because you're his daughter doesn't mean he can't do what he wants to do as an adult. He is an adult. He's allowed to do what he wants to do. Is it wrong? Sure. Is it right? Sure. Doesn't really matter. He made a decision. He could have called up maid and done that. Would it be wrong? Sure. Would it be right? Sure. But it doesn't really matter because he still made an adult decision. Now, if those adult decisions get him in trouble, then hey, guess what? He made an adult decision. Those are his adult consequences. And to level the playing field even more, it really does not matter what your mom feels like in this situation. It has been 2 years since their marriage. He could have moved on an entire year after their marriage, and it still wouldn't have been necessarily wrong. Would it have been unfeeling? Maybe. But is it wrong? Not necessarily. Some people grieve for forever. Some people grieve for a couple seconds. It truly doesn't really matter. Like, if you were to care about your mom's feelings more, then yeah, it would be proper to ask her and be like, hey, I'm gonna start. Ask her. No, you really shouldn't have. You shouldn't have to ask your divorced partner if it is okay to date. Like, is it gonna hurt her feelings? Yeah, I guess. But at that rate, it really doesn't matter. Your mom's opinion doesn't really matter in what he's doing here. They divorced. They're not together anymore. It truly does not matter what your mom feels like. She could feel like today's trash, yesterday's trash, last Monday's trash. It really doesn't matter at that rate because they have moved on. The trash has been taken out. The garbage truck came by last Monday. It has left. It is gone. It really doesn't matter how your mom feels about this whole entire situation to level the playing field here. It really does not matter. And you decided to be spiteful for, quite honestly, nothing. Quite honestly, nothing. And at the same time, yeah, no duh your dad felt disgusted after seeing you doing what he was doing. That makes sense. What happens if let's say you're at family reunion and you start talking to your family about how you just domed a dude. They're gonna be disgusted by that just as well. They don't want to. People don't typically want to hear about their family members having coitus. What is this? What is this? Your dad made an adult decision. It is okay for him to do this. Wrong? Sure. Right? Sure. But in the end, it doesn't really matter how you feels. It matters how he feels in the end because he made an adult decision. He is an adult, and so is Becky and her friends. Like, I'm just disappointed. You decided to waste your time, you decided to waste old Joe's time, and you decided to make your dad, who quite frankly did nothing wrong, feel icky for doing nothing wrong. Like, you're spiteful just for the sake of being spiteful at that rate. Nothing wrong happened here, and you're being spiteful. Like, you're younger than Becky. Let me keep it a stack. You're younger than Becky. Not literally, but you're acting like a child. Like, they're adults. They made an adult decision. Move on. Suck it up, Buttercup. They're adults. They're gonna do their own thing. You made it out to be like you're the last bastion of hope out here. Like, no, you're just a child acting childish. Grow up and be an adult and make adult decisions. Like, not being spiteful for the sake of being spiteful. It's childish behavior. Grow up. Grow up. Okay. Alright, yeah, once again, like I said, I thought I was gonna talk for way too long, and guess what? I did. But, let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Do you think what OP did was right? Do you think what OP did was disappointing, as I put it? What are you thinking on this story? Let me know down below. But, yeah, anywho. Now, before I end this off, I'ma just let you know about my podcast, where I post the same old stuff just in a form where you can listen to while going to bed, doing homework, or just something to listen to while working. But whatever the occasion, it'll be there. But enough of that. That is just about it for those stories today. And if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to become a fellow bread bag. Though, aside from that, I post 2 new videos every day on YouTube, so I hope to see you next time toasting session. But until then, have a good one.